Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man who finds out his fiancée is pregnant by another man. Let's see how it goes. Story 1. So, right now I'm in kinda a shitty situation. I've been treating my ex-fiancée pretty cold and demanding a paternity test for the child she's carrying. All my friends are saying I'm being a major asshole, but I don't feel that way. Here's the story. I knew my ex for almost 10 years. We go all the way back to high school and have been friends. After we graduated, I said fuck it and asked her out, and we became a couple. We dated for almost 6 years before she came to me and told me she was pregnant. I won't lie, I loved her at the time, and this was actually quite exciting to me, so I proposed. She, however, seemed super worried. I sat down and talked with her about it. I told her that even if she did decide to terminate the pregnancy, I'd be by her side and still wanted to marry her. She was super awkward about it, but decided to keep the child and accepted my proposal. These past 7 months have been a roller coaster. She moved in with me and we began getting ready for our daughter's birth, and we were planning on getting married after she's born. That was until a few weeks ago. An old acquaintance from high school reached out to me. I was never good friends with him, but he said that he felt guilty about letting an innocent man suffer for his and my ex's mistakes. This guy claimed that he was the father of my ex's child, and that my ex had been lying to me. It turns out that my ex and him got reacquainted about a year ago and started having sex. Around the time my ex got pregnant, they began having unprotected sex. He is not lying about this. He sent me photos of them together and showed me texts between the two of them. I was able to get my ex's phone and confirmed they were real. Along with this, he sent me a string of Facebook messages of my ex admitting to lying to me because I make more money than the real father and she would rather I care for it. Suffice to say, I was fucking pissed. I confronted her, she cried, I cried, it was a mess. In the end, I broke it off then and there and evicted her from my apartment. She's in the process of moving out now, but I've not said a single word to her. I've pretty much told her that I want her out of my life. I also demanded a DNA test the minute the child is born. If it is mine, I'll help her support it. If not, then I'm never seeing her again. I've been cold to her. Her and her parents have tried multiple times to work it out with me, but I've refused any contact with them. At one point, she got all her friends together to try to talk to me, and I kicked them out of the apartment with threats of calling the police. Anytime she's tried to reconcile, I've shut it down. My friends are saying I'm in the wrong here. According to them, she's pregnant, and because of that, I should at least be helping her till the baby's born, even if it isn't mine. I disagree fully. But I could be wrong. Am I letting my own emotions hide the fact from me that I'm an asshole? Edit. I've asked for a prenatal paternity test and she refused to. Tells me more than what the test could. Most of my friends are also hers. According to them, I deserve to feel hurt because of her actions, and that if the child is not mine, then I have every right to cut her out. But most of them are saying that I'm risking my relationship with her if the child is mine. Apparently, I'm an ass for mistreating the mother of a child that may or may not be mine. According to them, it's not about the money. It's about the fact that I'm treating the mother of my potential child like shit. When she gathered her friends, they wanted to convey how much she loved me and let me know how sorry she was. This is apparently why I have to help her, according to them. She's the cold one. She was the one who had an affair and intentionally tried to manipulate you into raising a child that may not even be yours because you're the better earner between the two potential daddies? If that isn't cold, I don't know what is. And it's even worse for her to justify why she did it in the first place. Love isn't even remotely the reason she wants back in. It's all because you make more money and the other man doesn't. I hope for both your sake and the sake of the child that this isn't yours and that you could move on with your life. Just do not sign anything whatsoever without a paternity test. Good luck. Now for comments. Not the a-hole, and your friend's reasoning is way off. Tell them they're free to tolerate infidelity in their relationships and work to provide money for another guy's kids, but you've chosen a different path for yourself. They should be respectful of your having enough self-respect to handle the situation like a man. Not the a-hole. However, try not to be a dick about the situation. I know that sounds weird, but always be the bigger man. This means don't take the low ground. Tell them calmly that you don't want anything to do with a child that's not yours. Explain yourself calmly and thoughtfully. Everyone sucks here. Okay, here's the thing. Your ex is the worst, and that's why everyone is saying NTA. But there's a chance that this kid is yours. And if she is, then sending money is not going to cut it. You are going to want a relationship with her. And to have a good relationship with your daughter, you're going to have a relationship with her mom. She will see how you two interact, and her view of relationships and how people should treat each other will be majorly influenced by the behavior you model. You may want to consider how you want your daughter to view you and her mother, then start modeling that behavior now. If it turns out that the paternity test says she isn't even yours, then leave. If she is yours, as she grows up, she may learn the truth about you and your ex's past. Make sure she's proud of you. Story 2. We were together for 13 years, married for 7. Then she had an emotional and physical affair with a coworker while pregnant with our son. D-Day was when he was 1 month old. Yes, he's mine, did the paternity test. After putting the pieces together, I learned she was out seeing AP while I was home with our older daughter. That she was texting AP saying she loved him while we were in the hospital together for her C-section. I'm so shocked and angry with everything, especially that this was going on while pregnant. I was doing the things I was supposed to be doing, like coming home early from work so she could go to prenatal yoga and just generally trying to be supportive. But now I feel so used, so angry that while she was having an affair, she still had the nerve to complain to me that I wasn't getting the baby room ready fast enough. That she told me the reason she didn't want to be intimate with me during the pregnancy was because she was having an affair. I thought she didn't want to be intimate because she was, pregnant and not feeling it. I thought I was being supportive. We went to a couple marriage counseling sessions, although I don't really know why. While in session, she said to me, "You need to see me as a co-parent, not as a romantic partner. She's just so cold and acts like she doesn't care at all about what she did." Then, I shouldn't have, but I read some of her texts to AP. She was telling AP I was toxic, apparently for being so angry at the situation and just generally complaining about me to him. My son triggers me. Although it's gotten better, it's just so hard knowing he was there. My wife told AP how I was struggling with things, and AP was making comments like, "LOL, does he even know how to be a father?" This is what the guy who was hooking up with my pregnant wife said. We've been living apart for several months now, but the anger still feels so strong. Sometimes I feel too overwhelmed for everything. How could I ever cope with this guy being part of my kids' lives after what's been done and said? Update. Quick backstory. My now ex-wife started an affair with a coworker in the fall of 2018 while pregnant. Our son was born June 2019, and the affair came out in July when my son was about a month old. We divorced, and she moved out of our house shortly after. Feel free to look at my post history or ask if you're interested in any other info. I've been living alone for over 2 years now, still in the house we originally bought together. I also have our 2 kids 50% of the time. Even on days I don't have the kids, I still get to bring them to and from school/daycare every day. Things seem pretty normal and routine at this point, and I don't get triggered anymore. The best is that I feel like I can bond better with my son now. He used to be such a trigger, and it would be really difficult to feel bonded knowing my ex-wife was carrying him during the affair. I haven't heard anything about AP since the divorce. I think that fell apart pretty quickly once everything came out. I started dating about a year ago and met someone that I get along really well with. She's met the kids a few times and they really like her. We've even all done some small day trips together. It does seem a little funny now that ex-wife is single after the affair while I'm dating. I guess I'm sad on the kids' behalf that they have to grow up with divorced parents, and obviously it's something I never wanted for them. But overall, things aren't too bad, and I'm trying my best for them. Edit. I think she basically said that she'd been feeling distant for a while and started talking to someone else at work. Then one thing led to another, and yeah. I remember her also saying something like she never felt like she loved someone as much as AP. She did apologize for the affair, basically saying she was wrong and shouldn't have done it, but never wanted to try and repair things. But then again, she also said things like, well, we were going to get divorced anyway, so I don't know if she was really remorseful. She seems to have checked out on her marriage long before she had the affair, it seems. So even without the affair, she was a lost cause anyway. While it doesn't absolve her of anything, at least she wasn't trying to manipulate you with mind games. I doubt whatever it was that she was looking for outside of your marriage was worth it. She discovered that the lush, vibrant grass on the other side was merely an illusion. You'll realize that infidelity doesn't necessarily end your life. As your children mature enough, try to get your narrative out first before your ex tries to make you the bad guy. Just keep that in mind. Good luck. Now for some comments. Good for you, man. I'm happy for you. I also hope you'll tell the truth to your son on why you two got divorced. My parents didn't, and it makes me resent them to this day by them denying me to make my own decision. You did what you had to do, my friend, and she had to pay the consequences for being selfish. You reap what you sow. I'm glad you and your kids are doing well, and I wish you, them, and your current girlfriend all the happiness in the world. As for your ex-wife, I hope she finds peace and learned a lesson that cheaters never win in the end. Triggering the divorce over cheating is always very scary at first. You think you'll be alone for the rest of your life and die alone under a dark bench. When you're going through it, you forget how common it is in our society. Everyone survives. Everyone starts a new life. I quickly discovered I prefer living alone. I enjoy making all of my own decisions myself. I date, but I'll never marry or cohabitate again. I'd miss the freedom. Glad you posted a success story.